Wow, this is like so inspiring. Natalie Lynn? Yeah, she's done stuff. Wow. It's helped me answer one question which has been bugging me since I made the decision to try and create and I've been creating, but to try and make content, right, for my socials and stuff. Considering the reason why I started, like, I need to answer the question why I'm doing it, right? Because if I can answer that for myself, then I can answer it for anybody else. I won't even have to answer it directly, like, it will just be there in my work. Like, how that guy who was commenting on what she did, and he was like, she wasn't creating as a means to get to an end, like, she was just creating for the sake of creating. And then I wondered if it makes me less of a creative. Because I'm hoping this creations will sort of be my salvation and pull me out of a tight spot. Um, I'm just gonna read out what I wrote down. I said, am I creating because it's familiar, because I'm good at it, because I dreamed of it and all the joy it could bring me, because I want to do something with my life to prove that I lived and to prove that I'm living, to prove that I'm alive? Or is it because I have friends and family that believe in me and my ability to be as a person, as an artist, to live, and they want me to, like, they're holding me beneath the arms. Everybody who signed up for my Patreon or who I reached out to on WhatsApp, they held me beneath the arms and they lifted me up to stand up and fly because they believe in me and they love me and they want me to succeed and to be happy. Or am I doing it because my family wanted me to be happy and they took a really big risk to get me to the other side of the world in South America. Um, and if creating makes me happy, then I owe it to them to be happy and to try my best and to create the fuck out of art because they love me so much and they just want that for me. They just want me to be happy. I came to the conclusion that it's all of these things. It's all of these things that are driving my reason to create. And I don't know how that's gonna manifest, like, in whatever different ways, but I want to share it. Um, because things don't last. I mean, they obviously last all of us, but like at the same time, they're always changing. And like Natalie Lynn was like, I'm not even sure I can make something like what I've made before, again, right? It's that fear of knowing that you've grown and you've changed so much, and you don't even know how you could even be the same as you were once. And so it's a really unique time for me, but it's always going to be a unique time for me, and there's never going to be a repeated timeline. And while I'm here, I want to document it. Like, I actually want to. And, whether or not that will help me get out of a tight spot or is going to make me a better artist or, whatever effect that has on my life, I just want to be able to do it. I want to be able to do it. Why did I just lose the meaning of that for like half a second? Um, so yeah, thank you so much for sharing that reference because it's helped me answer that. There was a line in there that she wrote from one of the books she'd been trying to read for the longest time, but just ended up editing videos instead for like a year. And it's like the object isn't to make art, but it's to be in a wonderful state, which makes art inevitable by Robert Henry. I don't know who the fuck that guy is, but it got me thinking, do I just want to be in that overall permanent state of just being in spaces that help me create art? And I think as a filmmaker or as somebody that's studied the medium and fallen in love with it in documenting reality is that everything almost always looks like art. The more I grow into the form, the more I see art in every day because it's all framing, it's all a shot. Sometimes I wonder if life is just one big game design that is running on a super high functioning quantum computer somewhere in the center of our galaxy because it just looks so surreal to me sometimes and everything has meaning. Nothing nothing looks meaningless anymore the more I become obsessed with this form. Nothing looks meaningless. Um Right now, I just watched my neighbor drive into his house, and I just feel like it's so iconic. He just spat. He went patooey. And I feel like that's so iconic. You could make a whole script out of that. Like it's giving main character energy. And that's just one person. I'm not even talking about the environment that's defining him right now. Avocado tree that's like right in my foreground, that's closer to me than he is. It's just so much, and I think it's all beautiful, honestly. So, um, yeah, it's inspiring to know that somebody else is doing this somewhere on planet Earth, and there are multiple artists, like multiple creators that are just creating. Um, and I think for me, after doing some inner work, I think I just want to create to feel alive because I'm alive. I've been alive for so long, Deep. I know it's not that long, but it's long. 24 years feels long to me. And I've just been living and breathing and I want to do stuff as I do that and share my story because you know whether or not it becomes something or helps someone or doesn't, it's just like more food for the internet. I don't know, but I want to do that because you're right, like studying audiovisual production isn't just for studying AVP sake. It's a tool to help me create art. And it's not like creating art is a destination. It's not like after I graduate, I'll be like, now I can create because I'm a certified artist. Like, I essentially can't help creating. And my desire to like study the subject even to a more detailed extent is just a reflection of me wanting to get to know form and creation in the ways that are familiar to me even more. Um, but I can't prove that with words alone. I think I prove that with how I am and how I act, and yeah, I want to do that. So thank you so much for being here with me and helping me try to solve this. You are an incredible artist. I will always say this. You're an incredible artist. You're an incredible artist, Gabe. And yeah, that is so bold. Like asking me to tell the story of how I ran all the way to the other side of the planet because I couldn't sit with my feelings. Oh my god, that's so embarrassing. But I'll definitely put it on my to-do list because you know what? We ain't no still seas. Yeah, I'm gonna try that. Yesterday I went on this walk. Hey, you better find some more clothes to fold because this is just growing and growing. But I went on this walk with like the university had a walk and it's also a way for students to get like I think points in social stuff. I don't know. You know how sometimes you need like points in extracurriculars to like graduate and stuff. I think there's also a benefit like that for them. But I'm just new to this university, so I was there for curiosity's sake, and I didn't really have anything else to do in the evening, so I thought, why not? First of all, it wasn't even an evening walk; it was a night walk. Like we started closer to 8 than any other time. And I just found that so fascinating because that would never fly in at home, right? Like people would be like, "Eh, tukifika usiku wa manane, like we should be we should be at home sleeping because it's unsafe," and it's just it was peaceful. I think to be able to have that option to take a night walk, um, and I was talking to Kayo, who is a friend of a mutual friend. I asked him if I could come with him on the walk, and he took me around and I forgot the reason why I started this story. I'm so sorry. The truth is that walk was so beautiful and there's so much to say about it. Like how it was 9 degrees and just last week it was 27 degrees. Now it's 9 and apparently I'm in autumn here. Autumn starts in April, not in August. I don't know why autumn is coming so soon. It's literally getting fucking cold, and apparently by the end of April, maybe even in May, we'll be in winter. I've never felt like winter is coming more so than I felt like it now, and it's really interesting. But yeah, it was cold, but it was also very beautiful, I think, to walk through the school, which is in the middle of a literal forest. So it felt like we just kind of walked to Karura Forest, and we were just taking a walk through there. There was a stream, like a little river, waterfall esque kind of thing, and I found that so beautiful that we could just take a night walk. Of course, language is always a barrier, and I I was scared about that, honestly. Like when I went to KO, I was like, maybe I should just KO. Why do I keep calling him KO? It's because there's a KO in my life. There was a KO. There's someone I knew called KO. And yeah, Mm, he was speaking English with me the whole time, which I found very, very kind of him because he kind of sort of became my little custodian there. Because I didn't really know how to talk to anyone else, and nobody else really knew how to talk to me, except for this other person called Alice, who I'm so glad I met. And honestly, it's maybe the highlight of why I went on that walk is meeting someone new. She was so friendly with me, and she was like, "Girl, I love you," and she taught herself English. She's like, "Fuck, I want to be able to sing along to different English songs." What happens is that Portuguese is so vastly different from English that even your muscle structure in your throat changes because of how you've been pronouncing words all over your lifetime, right? And so you can't even sing along to songs even though you want to because your mouth just don't do that. Like she told me how it took her the longest time to learn how to say the is used a lot in English. I don't even know. I didn't even like point that out. But yeah, we use the. I mean, like everything is a the, We don't have he, him, they, whatever conjugation. We just use the. And she's like, it was really hard to say that. And I struggle to say hello. Like hello. I don't know how to. I literally think I'm missing a muscle that needs to pronounce that. And the danger is that if I don't pronounce it like pow, and I say pow, I'm totally talking about a peanuts. So one of it means bread, and then the other one means peanuts. Ah! And I cannot be going to supermarkets and be like, hey, where's the big like where's the bread? But like I really need to practice that. But it was so lovely to meet her because she was so dedicated to teaching me how to say it. And she's like, I can teach you Portuguese just like I'm here, girl. And I found that so kind because I'm so nervous when I'm here. I never know how to. I don't have the freedom to socialize that I did in Nairobi because everybody around me spoke the same language as me. I never took it as a privilege, communication, right? And I'm good at that. And now I feel like that's just suddenly taken away from me. And I'm like, it's like starting from the ground up. But it's also so relieving and exciting when I find people that are willing to teach me and to walk with me and kind of remind me that humanity exists outside of dialogue, like the need and want to be social and communicate in other forms and just be there for one another. Oh my gosh, it warms my heart. It really warms my heart. And I think people are particularly trusting where I'm from. Like where I'm from. In Nairobi, nah. But here in this state, in Chapeko, this city, it's nice. I think people are trusting. Like they have these fences that are barely fences, and nobody really locks the gates. I think. Yeah, I don't know if everybody's like locking their doors at night either. I know we don't, and it just feels okay. It just feels fine, and I really like having that. It's not that they think you're guilty until proven innocent. It's like they think you're innocent until proven guilty. And they're starting from a point of trust. Um, and I think that's so nice. That's so nice. I want to have more of that. And I want to be able to embody that more because I feel like a bit scared because of a super intense thing that happened before I left, which I will share in another voice note when I maybe sit with myself and try to map out what the fuck that actually was. But it made me a bit wary of trusting people, and I felt really shocked, and I wondered how that would affect me when I come here because it was almost like an ego death for me. And I found it so interesting is that I would change so much. Right before I moved to a whole different country, and I wondered how that is going to affect my relationships here. But I mean, I definitely don't really feel comfortable trusting people in the same way that I once did. I think if I was still in Nairobi, it would be easier to blame the people around my environment for causing me that injustice and heartache. But I can't really use that same logic here because nobody here is the same. Nobody here is from home. I'm literally the first Kenyan in the program to step foot in Chapeko. I don't even know if I'm the first one ever in the history of the city, but there's been nobody else like me from home that's here. And so everything is new, everything is different. And my decision on how much I choose to trust or distrust the people around me cannot be as a consequence of this environment, right? And so I really want to be that person that's choosing trust first and then distrust after. But just because of the trauma and that loss that came from sort of a betrayal of a bond that I really um, felt I held in high regard, is making it difficult for me to try. And I'm so scared because I really feel like in this state and environment specifically, if I chose to continue to be trusting and to be kind and to be compassionate and to love, I would thrive. And I want to be that, you know? I really do. Anyway, thank you for coming to my podcast series. I don't know what the fuck else to call this. Um, yeah, but I really miss you. I really wish I could have a hug right now. But I have found people who hug me regularly, and that's been very, very relieving for me to have. Yeah, I'm taking it one day at a time, but I know things can only get better. There's this friend, I say friend, but it's actually someone I have a huge crush on. Everyone I have a crush on is back in Kenya. Oh my god. I wish I was more forward. I wish I was more forward while I was there because maybe they'd be more than crushes now. But she said to me, when I told her I moved here, she's like, let me get out the notes. Let me get out the notes. She said, maybe the years progressively get better and more beautiful for you in every imaginable way and beyond. Um, she was somebody that I was really vulnerable with and really told her about the ways my history and story with my family was affecting me and my progress and growth, or at least that's what it felt like at the time. Um, and she said that at a really early point when I arrived here, and so I've kind of used that to set the tone and foundation of what beliefs I choose to carry while I'm here. Um, and I genuinely believe that it will get better and things will get easier because of that, and because I'm choosing to remind myself that often and to approach life from that perspective. So even though I'm worried, I'm worried about the kind of trust I'm able to harbor right now. I'm choosing to believe that I will be all love and light and trust. Okay, bye for real now. Oh my gosh, I might just upload this voice note because it's tasty. Okay, bye, Deep. I love you so much. Mwah.